And we are back. New Pac City, Hawks fans worldwide. Welcome back to your favorite Hawks Hoopcast. I'm your host. I go by Lou Starsky, a.k.a. Chairman of the Boards. It's Wednesday, November 24th, 2021. And happy holidays from all of us here at New Pac City. And hope you have a safe and blessed holidays. Now let's talk some Hawks. We are sitting at 500 with the big national game coming up against the Knicks on the 27th. Looking forward to that. We got Trae Young looking good, running the team well. Clint and Gallo look like they've gotten their, they look re-energized, look like they've gotten their legs under them. John Collins looks great, even though the stats may not bear it all out. But, I mean, this is definitely the best I've ever seen him play. And now the question is, can we do it on the road? And we have that chance tonight against San Antonio. And so we'll see what the boys do. But first, real quick, hit the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. We'll make sure to talk about it. Visit the sponsors in the links below. And with that said, let's talk Hawks. Let's bring on Damon. What's up, homie?
What's good, dog? What's good?
And then we got a special guest right away. Let's bring him in too. We got DJ Incog making his inaugural appearance here on the New Pac City Rap.
Out of here! I finally get this.
Man, what's it, man? This your boy DJ Incog checking in. New Pac City, what's going on with you?
Excellent. Well, let me get y'all started with this. Do y'all think the Hawks are fixed after this home game stretch, or have you seen enough, or are you still waiting for something else to say, okay, the Hawks are back?
I need to see us. I need to see us on the road real quick. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we got a 1-8 road record, but look at the teams that we played on the road. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it was a big. So I would like to see us go on the road starting tonight in San Antonio. Now that we got some momentum and some chemistry built, now it should be no excuses. We shouldn't beat a majority of these teams on the road. And like I said, all I would like for us is to finish with a 500 or better road record. And
right.
I would.
Yeah, and Incog, what do you think? Do you think the chemistry's back?
Man, I got some ideas about the chemistry, but I'll let it out later in the show. But I got to see what we can do on the road and also against some of these Eastern Conference contenders, mainly Chicago. We gotta have a better showing against Brooklyn, and we gotta show what we can do on the road to make me a believer. We got some home cooking, and we just got to make sure everything is on the road, because in the playoffs, it's all about getting wins on the road. So, we'll see.
Well, has this at least alleviated some of the Nate talk about, maybe him not having the team together? I mean, it looks like he's definitely at least gotten them focused. The defense looks good. I mean, we've held teams to, I think, 13 points one quarter, a couple of teams under 100 points in the homestand. We got to take it onto the road, no doubt. But, I mean, as far as what could have been done, that's about as good of a road trip or a homestand that could have been, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, check it, man. Like, that road schedule was brutal. And I mean, bro, it was at the beginning of the season. And that's why I was like, hey, God, let's be patient. It's 82 games to go. And I was thinking about when we was, 4-9, I was also thinking about last season when we was, almost in the same position, 14-20. So I was like, we already know we have the talent to win games. The boys just put it together. Luckily, we got to come home, and like Incog said, we got that home cooking. You see what I'm saying? But I never wavered under Nate, because the NBA, just like a game, the season's the same. It's a season of runs. You'll win 6, maybe lose 2, maybe lose 3. You might hit a drought, lose something like 5 or 6. It happens. But I also looked across the whole NBA while we was losing, and I'm like, nobody in the Eastern Conference is running off with nothing. I mean, you look at the best record in the East is what, 13-5. That's not dominant like Golden State at 14-2. You see what I'm saying? Chicago, one of the teams we said that's up and coming. The Wizards up and coming, like you said at the beginning of the season. They're only like 10-6, 10-5.
Right.
So it's not like nobody is dominating. So I was like, as long as we still had a chance to get back into the playoff hunt, there was no need to worry. I mean, I feel good about us right now. I don't know how Incog is or how you feeling right now, Lou, but I feel confident. I feel so much confidence that I think we're gonna go in San Antonio. I think we're gonna beat them by double digits.
I think I'll say this. I think that we have a good jumping board to have one of those good momentum runs where we win, 10 out of the next 12 or, 10 out of the next 15 even. I think we're playing well, but what I am seeing is that John Collins has become a better basketball player. That's got to, come into play. Like from the very get-go, he has taken this season, his play differently. He must be studying or something, but his passing IQ is higher. His freedom, his fluidity is better. There's a lot to like in what John Collins is doing. And in the other players that we weren't really getting their best from was Clint Capella. And we know how important Clint Capella is, because if we just have a stiff running up and down like Damian Jones or like we lose, a lot of games. But when Clint Capella came in here and was actively going after rebounds and saving possessions and getting putbacks, and even with his weak ass misses at the at the 10, it's still the activity increases our activity and we play better. And now Clint seems like he's back there. Gallo coming off the bench seems like he's back playing what he was doing. So there's a lot to just, okay, like you said, yeah, now we have to do this on the road, but those guys weren't even performing when we were on the road before. So I'm really, really, really looking forward for us to just get better and better and better and end up being one of those undeniable top 6 teams at the end of the year.
So, I mean, go ahead, and Kyle, you had something to say?
No.
Okay, well, I wanted to add. Okay, what about?
I'm just throw this out, man, because throw this out because I mean, hey, we got to get through it. Do you think that DeAndre Hunter's absence has affected Clint Capella's and John Collins' game? I think so, because what you have is you have Kevin Herter in there that's that's more willing to pass and that's more willing to do the intangibles. And I just firmly think that DeAndre Hunter's absence has expanded, given the door to expand Collins and Capella's game. I just want what y'all think about that.
Well, what I would say on that, Incog, is that, well, you could say that a little bit. I mean, because let's be honest. I mean, Hunter does miss a lot of games. We go off last season. He missed a lot of games last season, and we learned how to play without him. But what the reason why I would doubt that, though, is because when we played in the playoffs against the Knicks, Hunter was playing. And matter of fact, Capella had one of that's probably the best series he played in the whole playoffs, was the Knicks series. I mean, and he was even talking trash in the press conferences.
Yeah, and I will say, I just to jump in real quick, I will say that I think that John Collins and Clint Capella are independent. I don't think they depend on whether Hunter's there or not. Their games pretty much stay the same. So I don't think they're dependent on it. I think others have benefited from them, especially Horter. I mean, it's obvious that Horter just seems to play better in a more confident role in his role when Hunter is in.
Well, I mean, true. I agree with you on that, Lou. And I agree with you on Clint's game doesn't have nothing to do with Collins or Hunter, like you said, because it's not like all plays for Clint Capella. Clint Capella gets stuff off putbacks, lobs, and he downs. So it's not like we're taking touches away from a Clint Capella. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yep.
I'm gonna have to disagree disagree with Incog on that. But I mean, what I would like to know is what took so long for Capella to get in here. Where was he started this? I don't know how true that is, or how injured he was, but if we could have got some of that effort on that road trip, maybe we squeeze out 1 or 2 wins on that road trip, and instead of going 1-8, or what are we going that trip 1-6? We go, maybe win 1 or 2 or 3 of them, because we led almost every one of those games on the road. We led Golden State, we led against Utah. I mean, we didn't get blown out of them, but we did miss Clint Capella's impact on the defensive end when we saw cats attacking the paint against us with him in and out the game.
Right. And even with my belief that Chicago is going to be a really good team and a really tough out, I think we match up really well with them. Like they don't necessarily scare me as a team. I think if Kyrie makes it back to Brooklyn, that's a scary team. I think Milwaukee imposes us a little bit, but there's really no team still that says we can't beat them. We can't compete with them. There's nobody out there that I say that with. Maybe not even Golden State, because when we played them, I thought we were right there and we were playing bad. It was taking a heroic effort from Stephon to keep them in it.
And they still was missing. It was missing an all NBA player. I mean, you got if Klay Thompson on the court, that's a whole different team.
And I heard he's practicing now, but they were also making shots. Let's welcome in Michael. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Hold on. I think I have you muted because I think I had you muted. My bad. Your mic.
You still got me muted, boy.
Mike without his lock.
You said, "Oh, me."
Every time I see him, that shit still fuck me up. My bad.
Hey, man. Hey, everybody who know me for forever or whatever, the first thing they say "Oh man, you back to old Mike." Basically that's the first time I ever grown my hair in my life, man. Even as a child, growing up, stuff like that. I ain't never had braids. I ain't never grew hair, period. So you know what I'm saying. That's just something in the last few years, but I'm probably growing back out. But even
looks good, man. I said this looks good. It's starting to grow on me.
Oh, appreciate it, man. But I kind of miss them, man. I'm probably growing back out though.
So, hey, so what's going on? Let me ask you the original question, man. Do you think do you think after this homestand the Hawks are fixed, or do you feel everything's good, or have you seen enough, or are you still waiting?
Man, I'm still taking it in stride, man. I mean, we I don't know, we're a playoff team, man. So I'm right now. I'm just not trying to get too, too low and not too high. I mean, I probably got a little somewhat disappointed to start the season. So I mean, it feels good to be winning. I'll say that for sure. But at the same time, though, I don't want to put too much stock in it because I feel like we are, I mean, we had certain expectations, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like we somewhat back to where we, in the sense, expected. So I'll say that much.
Yeah, and my expectations were that we were going to be a good team and be able to compete, and I think we have. And I think an NBA season is tough, and to regain chemistry and whatnot is what we want them to do. We don't expect them to, go out there and win 70 games like you did at the beginning of the season, but we expected them to get tougher and tougher and tougher as a team. And that's what I still think we have the potential to do. And the other thing that was always keeping my sanity was that we weren't losing home games, because that's what bad teams do.
We really have a lot of home games to begin with, though. But yeah, we ain't losing.
Exactly. I mean, we're 8-1 at home. So if we're dominant at one thing,
we just won 5 straight though, right? At home. Yes. So beforehand, we only had 3 games at home, and we won all 3. But I mean, like I said, we ain't have too much home love to begin with. So, I feel what you're saying. But before this home stretch, I couldn't personally put too much stock into saying, "Oh, we're winning at home" or whatever, because we only played 3 games. Now I can say it to an extent, but even then, though, it's the teams, suck. Like what Chris Kirshner or whatever, his tweet and everything. And it's like, I don't want to be too much of that because I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer or whatever. But, that's why I said I don't want to get too high or whatnot off of it because I understand what he's saying. But before we get too far off of it, the DeAndre Hunter thing or whatever, and, it happens a lot when everybody trying to say with Cam, Kev, DeAndre Hunter is this or that. Even you before the season started, Lou, you said we probably have too deep and stuff like that. I don't feel like it's because DeAndre is down because, again, everybody forget we beat the Knicks. We beat the Knicks in 5 games in the playoffs with DeAndre Hunter playing. Kevin Huerter was not starting. And y'all know I'm a big Kevin Huerter guy. So I can probably say Kevin Huerter should probably, I don't know, arguably start, but I won't say we don't need DeAndre. Like, we still would need him probably 20 to 30 minutes off the bench, though, or spot time being that starter or finisher or whatever. Like, we still need him or whatnot. But DeAndre is an important piece, man. I feel like it's just a coincidence. Clint is obviously playing better. He's obviously just jumping and running better than he was to begin the season. To me, that's apparent. Another thing, too, Coach Nate, he made an adjustment as far as not doing that all 5 bench lineup early in the game or whatever as much. He's playing John Collins more at the 5 now. Like you said, Gallo's hitting shots more. That helps, obviously. But also, too, Jang isn't playing as much, man. Jang is slow as hell, bro. Yeah, so him playing this JC at the 5 has helped a lot more, too, as well, man. So I think that's what it's a combination of a lot of these things to, see us playing better basketball.
And I see the coach making moves in the right direction. I see a coach that like he was kind of overwhelmed with the roster at the beginning and didn't know how to really integrate him into the rotations. And you can see him getting better at it. Like you were saying, he's not doing as many bulk substitution and keeping people in rhythm in.
I won't say he's being overwhelmed, but you gotta kind of see, you know what I'm saying, to begin with. And you do that at the beginning, and I feel like he's making his adjustment. You see that, okay, I can't have Jang on the court so much. Okay, I can't go all 5 of y'all. I need to have a starter. And he's making his adjustments, which is a good coach should do.
Yeah, I didn't mean it to be a negative thing, but what I did want to do is I wanted to talk a little bit about what your point was on Kevin Huerter, Bogey, and Hunter, who starts out of those guys. So are you saying that, or would you be willing to say that, what about a Huerter Hunter lineup and take Bogey and maybe move him as a bench piece?
I mean, that's the future. I mean, if we want to talk about trading people or whatever, I mean, it's Bogey and I guess Gallo, even though I not like it. I mean, I see DJ shaking his head though, but as soon as we signed them or whatever, like my thought process always was these are like just
templates,
just to fit in between time to these boys grow up and get to where they need to be. And if Kevin get to the point to where we know that he can be dependent on and trusted as that whatever backcourt mate and everything like that, and which is we seen at times that he can give you the points, he can assist or this and that, and DeAndre you have or whatever, then yeah, those guys I feel like before anything else are the ones who are left out because I mean you drafted DeAndre and Kevin. Like that's part of your core, your homegrown thing. Everything else is like I feel like just gonna come and go, a part of like our core guys.
Plus you get more with Huerter than you do with Bogey. I mean, if Bogey not hitting the 3, what else does he give you on the court? He don't really give you nothing. And you rarely see him at the point guard position. You rarely see him bringing the ball up, setting up the offense, unlike Kevin Huerter, who can give you buckets. He can attack the lane. Obviously I wish he would shoot the ball most of the time when he get down there, but he can get back defender, okay? And he can play defense. So I mean, like Mike said, it's just a matter of time. Look, you don't give Huerter that extension for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't get that extension for nothing. So I mean, and it probably would be easier to trade a Bogey if needed. I wouldn't mind us maybe them in a package. I know I'm going a little off topic, but let me just say this real quick because I'll forget it. Put a package together to try to get somebody to replace Dame. I mean, but yeah, I'd rather keep Huerter than Bogey.
We got Jang replacement though. Just know that. Just hold on.
00.
Yeah, like okay, that ain't gonna happen no more. We ain't seen bro going straight to Tony Snell in solo mode. Like once 00 come back, he ain't touching the court.
Well, that would be good. But let me ask y'all a question because, like, if you were a first round super mega talented guy like a Jalen Johnson, and this is the situation you ended up in, are you going to play the patient role, or are you going to make waves to try to get onto a team where you can start playing? Because you see some of these guys that are really doing well in the league.
Don't have a choice.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm about to say,
if he was a top 5 pick,
well, let me ask you this then. What is your attitude? Or would you be frustrated, or would you be willing to accept it and just keep going through the let's get better process?
And on things, Lou, like if I'm a Jalen Johnson, I'd rather start my career on an organization like the Hawks, to where I'm experiencing a winning culture, than to start my career off with, say, like the Rockets or OKC. You may get the playing time, but after a while, those losses take a toll when you lose in 50, 60 games a season. Because you don't turn an organization, you rarely turn an organization around with one player after 1 year. It's usually years and years of losing as the team add parts to help you. So, and plus, he getting major minutes down there at the G League.
Yeah, I think he had 23 and 21 at some point.
So I'd rather him down there playing than up here with the Hawks sitting on the. But he's in a winning culture and a good organization. You could easily go to Sacramento and play all you want, but look what happens out there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could go to Minnesota. They having fun up there. Are they winning games though? How long have you been up there, man? One playoff appearance in like almost 10 years. I mean, now if you're looking for a payday, obviously you want to play. But he just got drafted, and he's not even a top 10 pick. So he got time, and he don't have a choice.
But he might think he's a top 5 talent is kind of where I was thinking. But yeah, Incog, do you have anything going on about this Hawks roster?
Incog,
let me say this here, man, and this ain't gonna be popular because I mean, some people get butthurt when I talk about their favorite players and everything. But look here, if it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it. We winning, so stick with the lineup: Herter and Bogey, and everybody else. And then, and another thing, what people not giving their props to is our second unit, which consists of Deleon Wright, Lou Williams, and
Cammy,
and Gallo, and Reddish. Yeah, and so and the major adjustment I saw with the second unit, because earlier in the year, when that losing streak, you had Lou Williams just being a point guard, and you had either Reddish or Herter being the two, but they're not primary ball handlers. But what you have is you had Deleon Wright now and Lou Williams playing together, and then they're willing passers, so they're feeding Reddish and Gallo, and then we're winning. We're winning games like that. And see, that's my thing. Is I really don't care about who's on the team, because I'm not attached to these players. I'm gonna tell you like this: if the Hawks are winning, then stick with the lineup that's out there, and that means if Hunter is out, okay, then Hunter is out, and we winning. Okay, do we really need Hunter? You can say this about the Knicks and all that, but that's just one series. We're talking about 82 games, 82 game season. And the thing is, people don't realize last year we went on our run without Hunter.
See, that's what I was about to say, though, DJ.
Hold on, Mike.
Hold on. And that's my thing. And that brings me to this point right here with the Jalen Johnson situation. When you look at our assets, our tradable assets, right now, our tradable assets right now, in my opinion, are Hunter and Reddish. You have a young stud in Jalen Johnson that can come in and give you minutes with the second unit. Why not use him? Trade either Hunter or Reddish for a piece. You know, even the Boucher. You got Boucher that's just sitting
All right,
on the
Cog.
bench in Toronto. I love him. He's a great player.
What he
Bring
doing?
him in. I mean, it don't matter what he was
I'm
doing.
not-
But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it.
I feel you. And I'm going to give Mike. I'm going to give Mike. I'm going to give Mike the floor here on this, but I just want to, because I want to get back to Incog because we still do have Double O and Hunter coming back to this team. So how do we integrate them into that kind of flow? But I want to let Mike talk because I think you had a retort on the Hunter conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to address what DJ was saying and whatnot, but yeah, it's just kind of, I don't want to say it's contradictory, but all right. For seeing what he's saying, okay, based off what you're saying, ain't broke, don't fix it. Based off of winning with what you have on the court,
Which I believe a little bit in.
Last season, if I'm not mistaken, we won a lot of games, as you stated yourself, without DeAndre Hunter. It wasn't just without DeAndre Hunter. We won a lot of games. So based off of that, I feel like then Solomon Hill and Tony Snell should be starting in this lineup for us. We should be going forward this season with Tony Snell and Solomon Hill playing a lot of minutes because we won games last season with them playing a lot of minutes.
But
so therefore, it wasn't broke.
But Mike, but you will admit that they took on a more PJ Tucker style role or more back role when the other guys came in. I mean, like the thing is, like we tried.
Yes, I understand it.
They almost tried to start them too long. Like it was late in the season and we were still starting Snell and everybody was like, what the fuck's going on?
But do you really think that with them playing those same heavy minutes that we defeat the New York Knicks and Philadelphia 76ers? Okay, so that's also my point with that is that, some stuff might work during the season because, I mean, it just works out and everything like that. But when you're trying to win a championship, you want all your main pieces there, and y'all need to come together and go out there and play. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time or whatever, trading away people or whatever and then a Boucher stuff, that to me, that's something that's like, okay, well, then why are we doing that? Like, if anything, you should just want to stay completely intact. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, because we just went to the conference finals. All we talking about is reintegrating people that's been somewhat hurt, you know what I'm saying? And they just got to come back into it.
Right, which brings me back to what I wanted to get into, which is how do we, just in speculation-wise, and I'll get to you, Damon, here in a second, but just add this to your thought process as well, is how do we integrate a Double O and a Hunter back in a couple of months?
I don't think it's very difficult. I don't honestly, because to be honest with you, I mean, if we really do look at it, I mean, the boys, we was being down on them. They were playing horrible basketball, but for us, complaining and stuff like that and everything, though. But to be honest with you, they're playing bad basketball, man. I mean, I feel like DeAndre will just get back into the motion of things. I mean, he'll get going, man.
He's not a lot of
boys are playing bad basketball.
Yeah, he's not a squeaky wheel. I just, what I don't see is like a path for progression for our younger guys, like it used to be. Like with Trey, we threw him in. We knew in 3 years, John Collins, we threw him in. We knew, like with none of these.
I don't believe. I'm not one to believe that as a young player, you got to just have 1,000 opportunities and to mess up to become better. You know what I'm saying? You can become better in limited opportunities. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of efficiency. You know what I'm saying? I mean, DeAndre Hunter is that type of player where his game is basically efficient predicated on efficiency. Like, he's not going to over dribble the ball. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's not going to look to assist everybody else, but that's not who he is. He's not going to over dribble the ball. It's going to be 3 dribbles or something in a shot or catch and shoot or just straight drive or whatnot. That's his game and stuff like that. And I feel like that's not difficult to integrate with other players and stuff like that. As long as he let the defense lead everything, and that's the type of player he is.
Yeah. Damon, what do you got on that?
It's easy. Well, we already know when Double O come back. We already know who minutes he taking. He taking Dame. That's simple. We know that already. Mm-hmm. Hunter gonna come back just like he always do. He gonna slide right back into his natural spot as a starter. We're gonna continue to roll as a machine. But I wanted to address what DJ had said. When you go by that model, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Nobody was saying this. Look, nobody was saying nothing about don't change nothing when we was on a 6-game losing streak with the same starters. It was the exact same starters losing all those games.
You're broke then.
You see what I'm saying? So now the exact same starters come home and win 5 in a row. And now if it's not broke, don't fix it. See, you don't change nothing at the beginning because, like I said, what we do know is that this team has talent to win. We know that. It's just a matter of them just putting it back together, getting back to the swing of things. You know what I'm saying? And as far as what you were saying earlier about progression, listen, for young players, when you're competing for an NBA title, ain't no progression. You ready to win now. Listen, you look at the top teams, the Nets, the what's their names? The Suns. They don't have to. They ain't making room for no young players.
Yeah,
they're not saying, "Hey,
my bad, Demond." But what about Kawhi though? How Kawhi get better when he was in San Antonio?
What you mean? How Kawhi got better? He was playing on the championship team.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's an example of somebody like a.
Yeah, but Kawhi had a spot. You see what I'm saying? They didn't move nobody out for Kawhi. Kawhi earned his way, but they were still winning was the priority for Pac. He didn't care. Hey, we got to make sure that Kawhi get minutes. No, he earned his way. He earned his minutes. Because if you look,
he was a defender.
Points. So he wasn't a major factor. You see what I'm saying?
And he still grew into that.
But you rarely see championship teams with like more than 2 young players, and they're waiting or hoping they get better. When you're going for a title, you got to be good now if you're trying to win now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for Jalen Johnson, he gonna have to wait his turn, but he should be glad he's in a winning organization.
So
he could always be Marvin Bagley.
Right. And that's kind of where I wanted to know is like kind of just like where do you think his head is? So I guess you kind of did a good job of getting into that. Like because just to be a top pick and you just know this year you're not even gonna sniff the floor really unless something catastrophic happens.
Man, I mean, he can't say nothing though. He can't say nothing.
Let me say this right here, man. I don't care what y'all think. Flat out, Jalen Johnson can give us Hunter's numbers if he had the same playing time as Hunter. Flat out. I don't care what y'all think, what y'all say, or whatever. Jalen Johnson can give us everything that Hunter is giving us. That's what I'm saying. So why not get rid of Hunter and get something for him instead of paying him? Hunter is not an all-star. He's a role player.
And what is Jalen Johnson?
He's a starter on the Hawks. He's not an all-star.
What is Jalen Johnson?
He's an average 3-point shooter. So why would we pay him all this money on the next contract when we can just develop another person in Jalen Johnson to be his role? That's what I'm saying.
See, you caught up in that. You caught up in that. Hey, let's move him so we can develop. Bro, listen. We know what we get from Hunter. We know when he on the court, he gonna give you 15 points easy. He gonna give you great defense easy. He gonna give
you 15 points in 30 games. 30 games a season when he's hurt. That's what he's gonna give you.
But let me tell you something, though, Incog. That's something we already know. So as a good coach, as a good staff, you plan for that, right? You plan for that. But nobody thought he was going to tear a tendon in his hand. Nobody thought that, or he'll still be playing right now. It's not like it's his knee. If it was his knee, then I would say, you know what, Incog, you might be on something. This might be a cause of concern because his knee has been a consistent injury, and that's something we might want to look into. But I'm not going to get upset because he tore a tendon in his hand that anybody could do. That's nothing. And my last point, you over here hoping and wishing. Man, Jalen Johnson can give me this. You don't know that. You have no
ain't proven yet.
Until you get on that court. Listen. Until you get on that court and actually does it what? Consistently. You over here looking at them G League numbers. Oh, 23. Look who
And
he
he
going
been
against.
shooting great
Look
though
at
in
Demar.
the G League though.
Look at Demar. Look at this straight out. This
Go ahead.
flat out what I'm trying to say.
Flat out.
I was the one. Well, I was one of the main ones in New Pac City. Maybe 3-4 years ago that said trade Torian Prince. And all y'all said, where are we gonna get it? What the production from? Oh, we gonna get it from a
Oh
rookie.
hell,
We got
man,
it in
DeAndre
Hunter.
Hunter ain't no
We got
Torian
Hunter,
Prince though,
and
man.
we got Hunter, and he gave us the same production as Torian Prince.
No, he
So
didn't.
what I'm saying, y'all can't be stuck on these players. Am I right? Am I right or wrong about Hunter filling in for Torian Prince? Am I right or wrong?
You
Hunter
said
and Torian don't even fit in the same boat, and then too, that wasn't even like the same year or a year after each other either, was it?
You said trade Torian Prince. That's what you said. You didn't say, hey.
I mean, hell, I said trade Torian. I wasn't around back then, but I wasn't a fan of Torian.
Oh, I was there. He said it. He said trade Torian, but don't sit here and act like you said, hey, y'all, trade Torian so we can get Hunter because Hunter's going to do this. All you said was trade Torian Prince because you ain't like his ass. See?
I didn't like him.
I'm right. You know I'm right. Hey.
He ain't like his game or whatever.
He
Man, the main reason I said trade Torian Prince is because he isn't an all-star, and we shouldn't be paying all-star money for a non-all-star, and that's what we're going to end up doing with Hunter. He's not an all-star.
I agree with that, but I don't think that we are with DeAndre.
That's the reason why we got to pay another contract.
I don't think it's going to be a question of paying DeAndre a lot of money. I don't think he's gonna get paid a lot of money, man. That's the thing, right?
You're right, Mike. You're right. Go ahead. My bad.
Nah, I mean, I just want to throw that in there because I understand him saying that, but I also felt like that probably like a year ago. I mean, y'all remember me saying that, but just the fact that he keep being hurt, you know what I'm saying? We thought about it already. It kind of playing in our favor where we probably gonna lowball him. He get lowball, and he gonna have to prove it even more longer down the road to get that big payday. But I don't think it's coming this next one. He gonna get a Kev type deal.
Yeah, and I think this is definitely working out in our favor for sure. But there's a big difference between these guys, between Hunter, Torian Prince, and even the other guys. Hunter is a top 4 pick. Like we expect a lot out of him. Like we can't just cast him away like he's.
That's not happening yet. And you got to remember, too, we gave up assets to get him. You know what I'm saying? After the league cheated us out of our regular draft pick, the NBA cheated us out of where we were supposed to be. Travis wanted him so bad that they gave up picks to make sure that they got to where we were supposed to rightfully be picking to get their guy that they obviously been looking at for a long time or whatever. So I don't think that's going to happen like anytime soon, man. I think they're gonna try their best to get everything they can out of DeAndre before they try and sever ties or whatnot.
Bro,
I really feel like that all go ahead. What's up?
I was gonna say the thing about Hunter and why, if I was the general manager, I wouldn't move him, is because Hunter is a proven commodity. You know what you can get with Hunter when he's on the floor.
Guys,
so what does that do? So what does that do for a coaching staff? That allows you to prepare and game plan. Because I know what I'm going to get from him. I know what I'm going to get from a Trae Young. I know what I'm going to get from a Collins and Capella. See, that makes the coach's job easier. But when you want to start, let's trade this guy for this guy. See, now you mixing up. Now you messing with chemistry. You messing with planning. Now I don't know what I'm going to get from this rookie dude. I don't know what I'm going to get from this guy I just traded for because I didn't want to pay Hunter $40 million. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes make it easier for yourself. Don't make it harder. You make it harder when you got to go hoping that young players develop.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
I think that would be a bad move. Oh, go ahead, Incognito, because the only thing I was going to add to it was that you just got to want to get, if you're going to move a Hunter or any of our pieces, you want it to be for something that's a more of a known commodity.
Yeah, bro. Boucher ain't finna do it for me, but I mean, you said Ben Simmons, I would be like, okay, I don't know, let's talk about this. Whoop, whoop, but
why would I trade? Don't even get time on his own team.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I do that? I'm gonna trade for a dude who can't even get 20 minutes on his own squad.
Hey, I'm ears if it's for a start. I'll just say that.
Well, you bring up a good point. Like, okay, so what is up with Ben Simmons? Is anybody going out there and getting him, or
Ben Simmons got mental problems?
Hey, and Boucher is healthy. Doggone it. He played. He gave us 7 games.
He healthy and can't get 20 minutes.
I'm saying he healthy because he ain't playing.
He's in the doghouse. That's why.
You got to play to get hurt.
Yeah, I think the Hawks are still in a good spot, and I think this Herter, Hunter, Bogey, and Cam Reddish thing does need to get resolved as far as what their official long-term determinations are.
Hunter ain't going to tell you. I'm gonna tell you one thing, and I'll be quiet. I think the only issue you could have is maybe Cam saying, I would like an increased role. That's probably it. So the same thing, Lou, you said about Jalen Johnson wondering, maybe a Cam Reddish, since he balling now, could be like, you know what? I would like an expanded role, and if I can't get it here, maybe I can get it somewhere else. That's when you start looking at options then. You know, if you decide as the front office, you can't meet whatever needs he got. But obviously, that's all hypothetical. Probably not gonna happen. I pray to God it don't happen. And I love having first world problems.
Hunter and Reddish are role players.
On a really good team, though.
Come on.
On a really good team.
One thing that's wrong with New Pac City is the people in New Pac City are putting too much stock in the players who ain't making the All-Star team. Outside of Atlanta, when you talk about Hunter and Reddish, they're not gonna put them in the upper echelon of the NBA. You're just a regular role player.
Luckily, GMs are the ones that are making those decisions. But I agree with you. I agree with you, and I disagree with you, because I agree with you that does happen sometimes, but I disagree with you that is happening this time.
I mean,
what team got All-Star?
You gotta give an example though of like yourself trying to get an All-Star though, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like stuff not computing with me. You saying one thing, and I get that, but then the example that you give is for an unproven rookie to get more time and trade for a bench player who ain't getting time. So it's like I don't get that, bro.
And you know what?
I'd rather roll with an unproven rookie than a person in their third year still trying to develop.
You ain't trying to win, bro.
Give the development time to a rookie. And when you think about people raising up their games, you got to look at Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is averaging the same amount as Trae Young. He's elevating his game. What is Hunter and Reddish doing? Are they elevating the game where they can be in the All-Star talk?
Don't do that.
And they deserve. And Hero deserves to get paid because he's elevating his game. It's Hunter and Reddish elevating their game to where you can put them in the talk of being in the All-Star team.
Bro, Tyler Hero.
Say it with a straight face.
He's not going to be an All-Star. That's one. Number two, when you say he averaged the same amount of points as Trae Young, watch this. What did he average in his rookie year? What did he average his second year? See, you trying to Trae Young is a freaking MVP candidate. Okay? Tyler Hero just decided he want to shoot the ball more often now. But he ain't finna be no All-Star. See, what you doing, you trying to take dudes who balling right now, who didn't do shit the first 2 years in the league, and you trying to compare him to an MVP candidate in Trae Young? Come on, bro.
He doing good, but he averaging 22. Trae averaged 25 right now. So that's 3 points.
I'm trying to tell y'all when it comes to development, Hero is developing his game more than Cam Reddish and Hunter. So he deserves the
Okay.
money.
Has Tyler
And
Hero
That's what I'm saying.
been healthy the whole time?
when he plays for the Miami Heat, he has more of a green light than Cam Reddish or DeAndre Hunter has. Cam Reddish comes onto the court, onto the bench with more players who can do stuff than Tyler Hero comes off onto Miami's bench with his bench unit versus our bench unit. We have more people who can handle the ball, distribute the ball, or try and score versus what Hero is playing with. When Bam and Jimmy are off the court or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nobody else who is firepower. Duncan Robinson barely shooting. He starts. Tyler Hero's coming off the bench. So when he's playing with other people on the court, his main responsibility is shoot. Also, too, let's not miss the fact that Jimmy Butler has missed a lot of games. I mean, I play fantasy basketball, so I'm up on all this all the time. And I know Hero been balling because I pick him up. And it'd be no problem. It's easy money when Jimmy Butler ain't playing because I know he's shooting a lot, too. He going to get his shots up. He playing. It's no denying he's playing good basketball. Not denying that. He has developed his game. He stepped it up. But at the same time, though, you have to look at that part of the game, though. Like I said, though, when Tyler Hero comes on the court versus when DeAndre Hunter is even on the court, when you have a Trae Young who is very ball dominant, you have our game being to look for doggone Clint on the lobs, JC for the three, you got a Bogey, then you got a Kevin Huerter, you got Gallo who get isolation plays or whatever. All these people, when you talk about the Heat, it's a little bit more distributed and more role player like, but PJ Tucker ain't trying to score. He rebounding and passing, setting the screen all day for a Tyler Hero. Deadman ain't doing crap. Kyle Lowry basically would try and pass and stuff like that more, so he ain't like Trae or whatever trying to score or whatnot. We all agree on that. We know Jimmy is off and on for his shooting. His defense lead the game, but he'll shoot Bam too as well. But again, like I said, though, Hero mostly plays a lot when they're not there on the court because he's coming off the bench. It's perfect situation where he can be just completely number one, go get it. You can't say that for, like I said, about Cam or DeAndre at times. Even with Cam on the court, he was out there with Kevin, and a lot of times we be wanting Kev to do more than Cam. So it's just like,
and
you gave a real you gave a great excuse.
But hold on, but let me.
That was a great excuse.
But Incog, let me also ask you this. Do you think Tyler Hero could go off for 30 against DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish? Because I've seen them play against Miami the last couple of years, and Tyler Hero, when he has Cam or Hunter on him, he has a difficult time scoring, and usually gets picked on top and gets dunked on. So I mean, like, even when we were bad, we were competing with them because of these young guys that we had.
It isn't about, if Tyler Hero can score on DeAndre Hunter, it's about development and how much that a player is developing. And I see the development in Tyler Hero, but do I see the development in DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish into an all-star?
Well, what about Herter and Trae Young and John Collins?
Do I see that? Do I see that? That's my thing. And you can have all the excuses in the world on why DeAndre Hunter and Reddish aren't developing, but
I understand.
The big point is, are they developing?
But they're developing into different roles, and they've also been oft injured, right?
I don't see how.
Go ahead, Damon.
I was gonna say Cam Reddish is way better this year than any of the two previous seasons. So yes. I don't understand. He's improved his 3-point shooting. He's improved taking the basket.
His aggressiveness.
So I don't understand how you don't see any improvement. But you know what? Just like some of them other Hawks fans, you love other teams' players. Mm-hmm. See, this is what cats like you do. Oh, y'all in love with the players on the Hawks, but you be in love with players on the other team who do the exact same shit as a player.
I'm sitting here looking at the Heat roster again, man. My bad, bro. But man, Hero responsibility and role is just completely different. It's just
once a starter, usually locking down the best player.
man, come on, man. Bro.
Hey.
This dude said Tyler Hero, man. Bro, listen.
I don't want to hate on Hero because, like I said, he playing good ball, man. I mean, I like it and all, but like, come on, man.
You ask anybody involved with the NBA. You ask them outside of Atlanta, who would you rather have, Tyler Hero or Cam Reddish?
I bet you 9 out of 10.
And
Reddish.
9 out of 10 would say Cam Reddish. 9 out of 10
Come on.
basketball players.
Inside of Atlanta or inside of Atlanta or outside of Atlanta?
The world, inside the world.
Come on.
I bet you if you ask some general managers, they'll tell you Cam Reddish.
There is no way that they would take Tyler Hero, who's one-dimensional, over a Cam Reddish with the potential of a Scottie Pippen. It's just not going to happen.
The magic word potential.
How many points is Tyler Hero averaging this year?
22. I think 22. Yeah, about 22.
Is he the star player on the Miami Heat?
No, but he is on their second unit.
They winning, and they got a better record than the Hawks.
Let me tell you what Tyler Hero is. He's a role player.
Hold on. Did you watch it? Let me ask you this, DJ. Did you watch the game yesterday? Because hold on. Did you watch the game yesterday against the Pistons? Because Tyler Hero turned over the ball and made bad decisions at the end of that game that gave Detroit or whoever they were playing a chance to win that game. Like, it's not just about the points being scored. It's about how you play the game.
That's what happened when you put the ball.
And if you recall,
I'm talking about development.
Yeah, we're not missing the point. Yeah, we're not missing the point. But what we're saying is Tyler Hero is not developing into the guy who's going to dominate the end of the game and go win the game. He's going to be set up by somebody and take a jumper, and he may or may not hit it. But when he's got the ball in his hand, he's gotten picked. And I've seen him get picked by Cam and Hunter at the end of the game.
And he do it against the other team's second unit. He ain't even starting.
He does finish sometimes, and so that's kind of where I was talking about it, because like that's where it all boils down. But I guess DJ, I guess I just don't know the point of saying that we're not developing our players, because I think it is unfair at this point to say that this staff is or even allude or hint that this staff is not developing our players. I mean, they are obviously developing our players. I mean, Double O got a lot of time last year. Herter, who we all love, but we always were like, he's not aggressive enough, became aggressive. He scored 30 points in a 7-game win against the Philadelphia 76ers. On the road. Like, what are we talking about here in actuality? Because Tyler Hero, he did that in the bubble that one year, but other than that, he hasn't even
up last year.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, he's a good player, but let's not fascinate on him. But are there other? Because I do want to get into the next segment where it is this this game we have coming up against San Antonio, who don't even have a lot of good players anymore. But so I do want to get into that. But I do want to make sure that that you got all your feelings out about how people are perceiving this Hawks team, because I think Damon made a really good point about how you're kind of doing the same thing with Tyler Hero that other people are doing with Hunter or Cam Reddish or even or Trae Young and John Collins.
It's like this, man. We need another All-Star. Okay?
Agreed.
We need star players who can give us a reliable 20 points a game, and we just don't have that.
But
we got John Collins, maybe, but that's what I'm saying.
Do you think DeMar DeRozan would have fit that bill?
Absolutely. He's doing it for the Bulls.
But what I don't get is,
he was already a star.
I've heard people say, people keep saying we need another star. We need another 20-point score. My thing is this. Be fresh off the Eastern Conference Finals.
I think once Bogey gets a rhythm, he'll become a 19-point scorer and we'll be fine.
Can I say this real quick?
Of course.
My bad, because I was looking at some numbers or whatever. But Hero went from 11 points his rookie season to 13 second season to 22 this year so far. DeAndre Hunter went from 12.3 rookie season, 15 his second season, 10.8 so far. I mean, that I feel like the progression that's missing or whatever, it's up and down, but at the same time, though, we understand what our guy DeAndre Hunter has been going through and what he's been dealing with. I understand if you just want to red ship because the player keep dealing with some injuries or whatever, but I just feel like long run, a franchise or whatever, if they stick it through with a DeAndre Hunter, you'll get that 20 point per game or whatever, and a top defender on the other end of the court or whatever. And I feel like that's our guy or whatever. If you want to, like I said, make such drastic decisions or whatever so early and everything like that. And that's the difference right there. And then two, whatever, who knows that DeAndre doesn't automatically do that as well. Like I said, part of Hero's development, it has to be considered that he got moved from the starting lineup to the bench. Role change. You got an even greener light now. That's what they want from him or whatnot. What happens if we move DeAndre Hunter to the bench? You know what I'm saying? Does that increase his points or whatever because we want him to be the scorer? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So also too, looking at Cam Reddish or whatever. Cam is really like what, second year, 11. This year he's still at 11 because he's been erratic or whatnot. It probably should be more than that though. But his rookie season, I think what it was a 10, 10.5, 11, 11. I mean, again, so far that's that. Hero did, like I said, had a point jump or whatever. But to me, I don't really see no big differences in them. Talk to me year 5 to 7. And then, I see what's up. As far as the star goes or whatever, I just say that real quick, though. I mean, hey, I agree. I take a star. But if we, like I said, and I think Travis kind of trying to see it, he want the team to kind of naturally progress or whatever. I feel like he thinking that he has a star out of one of his 3 wings. If y'all want to consider Kevin as a potential star. I mean, I throw him in there. You know what I'm saying? If Gordon Hayward was once a star, Kevin might be one.
You know what I like? I like to look at Mike is also compare Tyler Hero. How many shot attempts is he getting per game? I know he's shooting way more than
I'm willing to bet more than Hunter. Yeah, Cam probably can be jacking. So I mean, Cam might be there with him.
But with Hunter, like you said earlier, man, Hunter game is smooth and efficient. He reminds me of that saying: "Slow is smooth." And smooth is fast. Okay. Now, the injury thing, it's nothing we can do about that. That's the way the cookie crumble. That could be anybody getting injured. Hell, that could be Tyler Hero getting injured later on in the season. Nothing we can do about
it. Jamal Murray got injured.
Yeah, it's nothing you can do about that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, Hero,
Michael Porter.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. just signed that big deal. Is out. So I mean, like with Tyler Hero, to me, it's just my opinion. To me, he ain't doing nothing that ain't no other role player doing. If he come to the Hawks, guess what he's gonna do? Be a fucking role player.
He's a solid ass Kyle Korver type player.
I mean, at the end of the day, but he gonna come here and do what? Be a role player.
Yeah.
So what you want to do? You want to trade for a role player for another role player?
Nah, he said we need a star.
And you know what? I guarantee you. I'll be quiet. Let me say this real quick, Incog, and I give it to you. I guarantee you, you put Tyler Hero on this team, he not averaging 22. He not gonna get close to that many shots that he take with the Miami Heat.
Huh.
Here's my final point about all this. Y'all talk about DeAndre Hunter. At some point, you have to make a decision on DeAndre Hunter, and the decision is going to come in this off season. Now, and it's going to depend on how far we go in the playoffs, and number 2, it's going to depend on how many games he actually plays this season. So either you made that decision. I think right now you have the opportunity to trade him and get something for him. But if you wait till the end of the season, you're not going to have the opportunity to trade him anymore because he becomes a free agent at the end of the year. So why would somebody trade for somebody for 1 year? And that's what I'm getting at. And I feel when you talk about Hunter, I personally think, and you can videotape this, save it in your archives, do whatever you want to do, and I'll stick by this statement, 2 or 3 years down the line. I feel Jalen Johnson can give us what we're getting in Hunter right now. I feel Jalen Johnson is a good enough player to come in and fill in that role and fill that void if we get rid of Hunter.
TJ, can I ask you a question?
That's what I'm sticking by.
But hold on, can I ask
you? Where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and I accept that. But
I'm done.
No, but I accept that. But let me ask you this: is there an impact a player can have that goes beyond the stats? Because I may agree with you that that Jalen Johnson would be able to give us 11 points or whatever DeAndre is doing right now, but do you think that he'd be able to impact the game or build the chemistry that he has, like the 3-year chemistry that he has with all the other players on there, to be able to run as efficiently as they do, to even on like pick and rolls that don't have anything to do with DeAndre Hunter?
I absolutely believe it can be done, but it's gonna take time. Hunter has 3 years with Trey Young on the team. You got to build the chemistry, and in order to build the chemistry, you got to start from the bottom. And right now, this is a great opportunity to build chemistry with Jalen Johnson and this Hawks team.
So, what are you trying to do?
It's a good time.
You're not trying to win now. If you're talking to build chemistry, you're not trying to win now, are you?
We're winning without Hunter.
No, I'm talking about we winning without Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. If we put in a young rookie and he starts making mistakes and we start turning the ball over and they get on runs and all of a sudden they're picking on the guy, he can't read defenses right, or he can't read complex switches right, or he's not responding and running out to the right man, and all of a sudden you got 2-on-1 wing guy while the other guy's wide open. What's going on here?
During our losing streak, were they going on runs with Hunter in the game?
Very rarely. I mean,
y'all shut up, man. Y'all were quiet.
I've been quiet this whole time.
I had to think about what you said.
Other teams go on runs with Hunter in the game when he was healthy.
I guess sometimes, but I mean, not all the time.
Let me tell you something, though. Guess what, though, DJ?
We also came back.
Watch this, DJ. All teams go on runs. Don't they go on runs when Tyler Hero win the game? When was that last year when Miami was under 500?
So now DeAndre.
Yeah.
Oh, man, y'all out here clowning, man. Y'all out here clowning. Look here, man. I mean,
this will be
runs, man. You gotta develop your talent, man.
Yeah, and we will.
He getting developed.
He getting developed right in College Park, where he belongs at.
I feel good about how we're developing, but let's get to this final section, guys. Let's leave all that behind for now. We will get back to it throughout the year, I'm sure, because that conversation is not going anywhere. But let's get to something that is immediate and impactful tonight, and that is the San Antonio Spurs are hosting our very own Hawks. What's y'all's prediction on that game?
W, hopefully a win and whatnot. Probably need a good game from my bigs. That's what I want to depend on tonight. John Collins and Clint Capella and bring us through. Hopefully Murray don't get off too much, and forget the other kid name, little small forward, Kelvin Johnson. Yeah, hopefully we keep him in check too or whatnot. That's who I'm looking at. You
got any of those in your starting lineups? Thinking they're going to take advantage of the Hawks at all?
I just named the two, bro.
I know how you're treasonous in that way.
I just named the two. Murray and Johnson.
What about you, Pac? What do you see going on in tonight's game? Do you think the team carries the momentum to a W, or do you think? What do you think?
First of all, I'm gonna piggyback off what he just said, man. I got Murray
Wagner
in one league. I got White in another league, and I got Keldon Johnson in another league. I think them three, they gonna do their thing. But the thing is, when it comes to the center position, they kind of weak at the center position. San Antonio. So yeah. I mean, that's where Collins and Capella gonna come in, and Trey Young gonna do his thing, and the second unit. Y'all ain't giving enough props to the second unit when it comes to DeLon Wright, Lou Williams, and Gallo.
I would like to retort to that because hold on. Last week I said that we will rise in the standings. It's literally in our title, but we will rise in the standings with our bench mob when the bench mob rises. So I think our play is definitely
like Gallo only fan.
Our biggest strength is that our second team can be so much better than other teams' second teams. And so I really do think that when our bench gets flowing and we don't have Lou Williams just taking bad shots and missing them, and he's actually flowing in the game and hitting the tough shots, and Gallo's hitting tough shots and post ups, and everybody's running the offense right and not losing on the defense, that we're going to win a lot of games that way.
And people were hating on DeLon Wright, man, but I mean DeLon Wright, he coming in, he running a good show, man, and he had good chemistry with Lou Williams.
Yeah, he's playing a lot better.
That's our strength. That's our strength right there. We got the veterans coming in playing second unit with other teams, players they trying to develop, and that's our strength. Them veterans coming off the bench. So I predict a win tonight.
Hey, speaking of right, does anybody know why Nate didn't play him during that losing streak?
I think he was mad at him because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. I mean, it's okay.
That's why I said fire Nate. Fire Nate for not playing him.
No, you just said fire Nate.
Fire Nate for not playing DeLon Wright. Now you winning.
How about this?
You good now.
How about this? Maybe DeLon Wright wasn't doing what coach wanted him to do, so he sat his ass down right next to him on the bench and showed him what he wanted to do, and then put him back in there because he's a good coach.
That's what I think. I'm just wondering, did anybody know why? Because he got them DMPs. I was like, is he hurt?
No, he wasn't hurt. I think he wasn't.
I can't stand when Lou Williams point guard, bro.
Yeah,
I don't see no difference in what DeLon Wright was doing. The only difference I see is us playing DeLon Wright and Lou Williams together.
He wasn't being aggressive. He wasn't being aggressive, and he was also very tentative. So I think he just sat him down just to make sure he understood exactly what we were trying to do. I think that's it.
That's the work.
Yeah. And so, Demond, you are next. What do you think is going to go down in San Antonio tonight?
Well, I told you we winning by double digits easy tonight.
So you think it's going to be kind of like a home game? I mean, do you think the team will be jazzed up? Do you think they'll bring their own energy? Do you think this will be a momentum game?
That's the game I usually go to every year. But, I'm in California. I was so mad that we was going to be out here, man. I usually go to the San Antonio game. But, bro, that shit is going to be easy money tonight. If we lose, I'm going to be highly upset. But this is where contending teams, you're supposed to beat teams like the Spurs at their current form. You're supposed to beat them. Now, hopefully, we don't come out in typical Atlanta Hawk fashion on that bullshit in the first quarter, or come out in that third quarter with that same bullshit. When the team seem like they not focused, they playing down to the competition, they not active. They need to come out, kick them boys, and then put their foot on their neck. And
right. And John Collins, if you listen to his post games after this road trips and all that, he is saying all the right things about what they're trying to do, especially with the OKC Thunder game, about how they got close and what they wanted to do. They wanted to keep a certain distance. I mean, they really have the right mentality to get this done. So I think I'm excited about that, and I think we will win maybe a 112 or 117, 102 type game.
Well, we better win by double digits. What you got for DraftKings, Mike?
Hey man, it's FanDuel, and it's crazy because I'm sitting here playing with a lineup now, man. Hey, you gonna say that though? But I told you though, man. This one's like a single game, so it's only the Hawks and Spurs. You got to pick an MVP, star player, like pro player, then two other players, whatever, like little role players. But MVP like 2 times the points though, man. I don't know, man. What I'm gonna go with? I don't know. I feel like I'm too guard heavy, but right now I already named him earlier. I think you jumped out though. But Murray, pick him MVP for the night. Get Trae Young after him, Kelvin Johnson, and then like my little couple role players were Gallo and Kevin Huerter. I don't know, man. I feel like Clint might give another big game tonight, man, because Portal, whatever the name is, man, they suck. Him and you.
Yeah, I think definitely Clint has a good 15-15 type game.
Yeah, if you don't have,
I know. They cost too much money though, man. You got to swing them prices into these lineups and stuff like that. Ideally, I would like John Collins and Clint tonight though, but like I said, I gotta be smart about it, about my plays and stuff like that, man. So I don't know. I'm thinking Murray. I don't know. I'm hoping Trae don't have a lot of turnovers tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking both of the guards, Murray and Trae. But I think Murray gonna have him a good little like well-rounded stat night tonight, man. That is gonna be like, damn.
Well,
but we get W though.
Well, so as we're signing off here, one thing I did want to kind of bring up that we didn't really touch on a lot was our defense has gotten a lot better during this homestand. Have y'all noticed a lot less frustration in the defensive rotations?
I noticed a lot less complaining too. But yeah, the boys is getting out there, man. We staying out of foul trouble better than we did on that road trip. That road trip killed us on fouls, man. But staying out of foul trouble. That weak side help. That 5 block night by Collins the other night was outstanding.
God, he's playing so active.
Yeah, but I wish we could still play a little bit better man defense. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I think we just rely too much on a Capella or John Collins to come help. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I know we didn't play the top teams in the league on this homestand, but like I said, sometimes you need to beat up on little teams to get the confidence back. And I think we got our confidence back on the defensive end and the offensive end of the ball on this homestand.
Yeah. Anybody else got something else to add at the end, Mike?
Nah, man. Go off.
Yeah,
Man.
go off.
Yep.
Excellent. What about you, Incog? You got anything else you want to yell at us about?
We can't hear you.
Yeah, what happened?
We can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Check your Bluetooth. See, is it connected to your car Bluetooth? Turn your Bluetooth off on your phone.
I don't think he can not hear you any if you have to yell.
You know how it is, man. Hey,
I know. I'm just calling it out.
You speak louder.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, they can't hear you no matter how loud.
And so, where's everybody going to be watching the game from? Are you going to be watching the game at a bar at all, Demond? Or they probably won't even have the game there. You'll probably be having to illegally stream it or something.
Yeah, I'll be watching it at this Airbnb, man. Shit, I don't watch games in public places because I get
too hyped up,
and I don't be want no attention on me and shit.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? You going to be watching it at the Art Embassy?
Oh, nah, man. Watching at the crib. What's up?
You gonna bust out a couple cold ones or anything?
Oh, nah, man. Nothing special for this game, man. Nah, nothing special.
It's saying a trip to Mars.
Yeah, it said trip to Mars, the regular old stuff.
Just the regular old stuff. What about you? Do we have Incog back, or is he still?
Dang.
You might have to go out and come back in. Yeah. But yeah, so I guess as far as I'll give my little predictions while we wait for him to come back, and I'll say that I do think that the Hawks win pretty easily tonight. I think that we continue to play crisp basketball. I think we have a chance to hold them under 100, but I'm not gonna, it's their home court. Are they still selling out San Antonio pretty regularly, or is it back to just barely anybody comes?
Technically, it's sold out. Technically, the tickets are sold, but motherfuckers gonna be.
Gotcha. So if the energy is a packed house, I think that the Hawks win easily. If it's a really dead stadium, we may have to win it in the fourth quarter, but I don't see us losing. It seems like the guys have the mission back in their psyche. Like when you listen to them talk in the after shows, it's a lot more focused on what they're doing as a basketball team. So I'm expecting a big win. And let's see if we got Incog to finish out the show here.
Yeah, y'all hear me now, man?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Where are you gonna be watching the show at?
One thing. Oh shoot, man! I ain't watching it, man. Shoot, I'm on the road. I'm headed down to the dog track down in Short, Alabama. I had to pull over and holler at y'all. So, I'm on the road. Hopefully they have it on down at the dog track. But I mean, hey, go Hawks, and man, shoot, I thank y'all for having me on. Sometimes get on that new Pac City, y'all don't understand what I'm saying, but shoot, I just came in here and just to let y'all know where I'm coming from. And at the end of the day, it's all love. It's still supporting the Hawks. Even though we disagree on some things, you know what I'm saying, we still rooting for the Hawks. and I like this platform. I mean, keep it going, and I'm gonna try to get on as much as I can. But one thing for sure, y'all gotta keep this show going, cause it's much needed for the Hawks Nation. So
Hell yeah.
I mean, shout
Yeah.
out to y'all. I'm gonna get back on the road and go Hawks. That's it.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Excellent. Well, with that said, there's not much more to say except let's bring in the end of the show. Definitely go visit the sponsors. Hit the thumbs up, share the show with your friends and your other Hawks groups, and yeah, let's keep it popping. We're gonna be here all season long. And peace.